At least, yes, they're still together. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for coming out. And if you'll look behind you, you see all of you need to sign that for GOTV. The GOTV obviously has begun because of early voting. But the reason that this election, and they always say this is the most important election of the day, but this election today, this week, next week, the next 2 weeks in Ohio is literally the most important election right now in the country. People all over the country are watching this. And they're watching in California, they're watching in New York, they're watching it in Texas, they're watching it in Washington, because if we lose, it's just Katie bar the door. They go after everything we believe in. They go after pensions, they go after prevailing wage, they go after right to work, they go after everything we care about as a nation and as a society, and the values that really are American values. And if we win, and I think we will, but we got to win by a lot, we win, it sends a message everywhere that we care about all the right things. And when you look back at the election last fall, when Democrats got obliterated, it was all about jobs. When this crowd took office, they went after everything but jobs. They went after bargaining rights. They went after voter rights. They went after women's rights. In Washington, they went after Medicare. They went after Social Security. They've gone after Pell Grants, minimum wage, all the things. And it's more tax cuts for the rich. You get rid of the EPA. That's their answer to everything. Yes. And so that's all of this in Ohio plays out. And again, we win this if we just barely squeak by, we win and barely squeak by. Batchelder and Kasich and that crowd will be right back at it, doing the same kinds of things. They'll take parts of collective bargaining and try to undermine them. And eventually it hits the Teamsters, and it hits the steel workers, it hits the teachers, and AFSCME, and every public and private union. But it also just is a direct assault on the middle class, whether you're a union member or not. So I just close with this, that what they've done is, I take it personally, what John Kasich has done. Not that I particularly hate John Kasich, but just that what they've done is go after what we believe as a nation. And we've got to take it personal in this way, that every single person you have to ask them to vote no on issue 2. Do it for you. Do it, talk to your every family member, everybody at your church, everybody at your workplace, everybody in your neighborhood, everybody at school. Tell them this is personal, that you want them to vote no on 2, and you'll go to the polls with them if you need to. You want them to vote no on 2 for you personally. Because they've made it personal, we've got to make it personal. Not in a revengeful kind of way, but in a way of winning this vote and running up a big total, and that'll make all the difference in the world. So make sure before you leave today, sign up to do one of those functions on one of those days, right?
That's right, yes. And we actually have call sheets with me right now, so if you guys can please get on the calls, or if you want to take a walk packet with you today, we have walk packets ready so you can go talk to your neighbors and tell them about the importance of voting no on issue 2. We would be greatly appreciative if you could put in just a couple hours. That's all we really need, and especially next weekend, the Get Out the Vote. That's our last push to really make sure that we repeal Senate Bill 5. We have 10 days left of this campaign. 10 days to make some history happen. So I really hope that you guys can work with us for that.
Yeah, I want to say something quickly. I couldn't find a thing about any of the candidates, and let alone where they stood on issue 2. So I called the superintendent's office, and she came on, and she let me know a little bit about each candidate without swaying me, just kind of their past resume, kind of what they've done in the district. And then I asked her where they stood on issue 2, and she didn't have any clue. And she said, to tell you the truth, I don't know where I stand on it. And then I told her, well, look, I've never been a union person, and I have a teaching degree, but I taught out of the country in the Dominican Republic. So I'm not a union person, but I'm going to tell you what bothers me the most about this bill, SB 5, was the divisive tone, the us and then mentality, as though teachers and other public employees are not taxpayers. They are always talking about the taxpayers, but these people pay taxes, and they do a service, I told her, where they put their lives on the line, the firefighters and police, every day. So you tell me what that's worth. And teachers have an influence on the country's future, so you tell me what that's worth. And she said, that's really making me think now. So, it isn't even for me so much issue, although I think that's really bad. I think the way that they've gone about doing it is very, we need to put the brakes on these
Well, Ms.
people.
Fields, you said you have two children, they're teachers, right? And you know, I've heard young people say, I'm not sure I want to teach now when I
Why
hear
would you?
public officials, major public officials attack this profession.
Yeah,
So-
where they become the demons all of a
So
sudden.
spread that word and make it personal, and we will win this. And thank you. Thanks all of you for coming out. Thank you.